Welcome back to the 585 show. I'm Tyler Strollo.
And I'm Bailey Morris.
And today, well, we got a lot of football again.
2 weeks in a row. Off season has been pretty wild so far. Still nothing on Russ Wilson. There's stuff on Deshaun Watson.
We'll get to that. No MLB. We actually looked up some stuff for you guys. The third article recommended was about a guy getting a beer hit out of his hand by a line drive. So very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah, other than that, the only interesting baseball stat for you is the Red Sox have a winning record, but once it comes to April, that's going to change.
April 1st, opening day. Very good day. I feel like that's when hot dog time starts. You know what? As stupid as it sounds, I feel like it's inappropriate to eat a hot dog outside of baseball season.
No, I agree. Because when you think summer, you think of grilling burgers and dogs.
Exactly.
Right now, I'd say we're still in the burger phase, strictly burger. But
I've had hot dogs multiple times, only a couple times. See them. It's like, let's have, let's start it going. But that's only because spring training started.
Yeah.
There's an excuse.
And it says a lot. Best hot dog I've ever had was at Fenway Park. Nothing beats that.
But without further ado, let's get into our football section. First signing we have for you guys today is Adoree Jackson to the Giants. 3 years, $39 million, up to $44.5 million with incentives, and $26.5 guaranteed. What do you think of this signing?
I like Adoree Jackson. He was really good in Tennessee. I think he's really underrated. And Giants are, in the last week, started to build some depth on their roster. So.
Yeah. I believe he also returned punts, and I think maybe even kickoffs for the Titans. So he's a utility guy. But honestly,
he got 1,065 return yards last season, 33 pass deflections. Really,
it's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
he had 200 tackles as well. That's a pretty good season. But speaking of the Giants, they got their guy, Kenny Galladay.
Yep.
4 years, $72 million. However, I think Kenny Galladay, great player.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, you got Daniel Jones thrown to him still. Nothing against Daniel. Well, I guess technically things against Daniel Jones, but he's not exactly the type of quarterback that you go out and pay a receiver $72 million for. Personal opinion, but
I think Daniel Jones is going to be on the hot seat this year. I think this is his year to prove himself if he is the future of the New York Giants. Last year, he wasn't too bad.
No.
I think he's in the phase where Mitch Trubisky was
at this time in his career as well.
But I think if Daniel Jones can throw 30 touchdowns, lead them to maybe like 7 wins or more, I think they stick with him.
Which is such a low bar when you think about it, now that there's also a 17-game season. Such a low bar.
Yeah.
But
Kenny Galladay, who knows, maybe Galladay is the missing piece in their eyes. Maybe this will kind of spring Daniel Jones' career.
Or maybe not. But who knows? He needs to tie his shoelaces a bit more. You were saying that earlier.
Yeah, he does need to tie them shoes.
And this next signing, in my opinion, is the most underrated and best value signing that I think happened in the league this season and possibly in the last couple. Mitchell Trubisky, that's right, this guy right here, to the Bills. Get this, 1 year, $2.5 million. He's a solid backup.
Yeah.
I can flip this for a moment. Yeah. Buffalo Bills go get their backup, but I feel really bad for Matt Barkley. Did you see the picture he posted?
Yeah, I like Matt Barkley, but I think this makes a lot of sense for the Bills. Mm-hmm. Really cheap for a solid second quarterback, and especially with Josh Allen's style of play, really physical. He's not afraid to take a hit.
Similar body size.
And he'll be getting injured at some point, I'm sure. I hate to say it, but the way he plays, he's going to go down a game or two, maybe even this year, and we'll probably see Trubisky on the field at some point.
Mitch Trubisky. But yeah, the MVP, the Nickelodeon valuable player, he's, I think someone like Mitch Trubisky has the opportunity to either be a career backup or a starter for opposite ends of the spectrum. But honestly, I think that's a really good signing. It's quite the bargain deal. So,
yeah.
And once again, if the Bears could have got him for that price, that just shows the ineptitude of Ryan Pace. So, Who expects that? The Bears are so not inept. They are so good at everything.
Yeah. And then along with signing Trubisky, Buffalo Bills just signed my guy Emmanuel Sanders. I loved him in New Orleans. He's like a really great guy off the field from what I've seen. He's a leader.
Love Emmanuel Sanders.
He's already very excited to get to Buffalo, and he wants to bring home a championship, I've heard.
It was actually Cole Beasley, his former college teammate, who, kind of brought him in. He's like, you want to win a championship, you come to Buffalo. And hopefully they're right. And hopefully they get him for more than 1 year. I'd love to see, that first off, that receiving core sounds like a dream. Mm-hmm. Diggs, Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders. That's a really...
Gabe Davis, too.
Gabe Davis. Can't sleep on Gabe Davis. But yeah, that's 1 year, $2.8 million, but a 2.75 bonus, which means he went there amidst other offers, which... Thank you very much, Emmanuel Sanders, if you're watching. About the likelihood of Obama watching, but...
So...
The Bears.
Big signing from the Bills. All right, let's go to the Bears, Ty.
Oh my God. Andy Dalton to the Bears. 1 year, $3 million, $7 million bonus. It's $10 million. Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket is now in the Windy City, but I don't get it.
I think
they should have gotten Mariota. I mean, they still have time to, but you already kind of. And by the way, the GM came out and said that they signed Dalton to be the starter week 1. I can't.
I never even thought of Mariota going to Chicago. That would have been Mariota is a solid player.
He is. He's very underrated. Or even Winston before he signed with Nova. But
I guess Andy Dalton was their second best choice behind Russell Wilson, who the Seahawks rejected this insane trade from Chicago. I believe they sent 3 first-rounders and 2 starters to Seattle.
Which, do they name the starters?
Rumored to be, I think one was Akeem Hicks.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I think the other might have been Khalil. No. Actually, it might have been.
I'll look this up.
Is that yeah, that's a pack. We'll open a pack on the after show. The after show will consist of us watching the Michigan game live, me either having a heart attack or being pretty happy, but...
One of our brackets will be busted, though.
Yes. Well, they're both... I already had... West Virginia already lost.
And one time I root for Ohio State in anything, they lose to a 15-seed Oral Roberts, let alone it was kind of enjoyable to watch them go out. But
it
still.
Definitely was, yeah, but... I just... Yeah, Andy Dalton, the Bears. My dad is a huge Bears fan, and I'm kind of a Bears fan, but I was really confused by it. Yeah, it was Khalil Mack.
Yep, according to Seahawks Wire, the Bears offered the Seahawks 3 first-round picks, a third-rounder, and Akeem Hicks and Khalil Mack.
If I'm the Bears, I'm not doing that. That's horrible.
Seahawks front office, are you out of your mind?
Yeah, what kind of...
Your defense has very... I mean, Jamal Adams is the only playmaker I can think of on that defense.
It's and Bobby Wagner.
Bobby, too, of course. Forgot Bobby. But Bobby alongside Khalil Mack, come on.
And Akeem Hicks. And Akeem Hicks and Khalil Mack have that chemistry. That's ridiculous. I can't believe he wouldn't do that,
and
Seattle.
The 3 first-rounders.
That, too, How do you... And the Bears are probably going to stink. So you get their... What are you doing, Seattle? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, because if Bears finish bottom 10 in the league this year, which is... Likely.
No matter who's at quarterback.
Right.
I think Russell Wilson would make them worse. Because he's... Well, yeah. Let me rescind that. I don't think Russell Wilson's good enough to bring a team out of the depths of
Especially if they give up 2 of their best defenders for him.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Seattle, personally, I think you are strongly mistaken for not
Fumbled the bag.
Yep.
And then our last thing for football here is quite possibly the one that has the most implications. Deshaun Watson with just...
There are now more women accusing him of sexual assault than there are teams trying to trade for him.
I believe it's up to 13 now.
13.
As of this afternoon, which is scary. Yeah. Amidst all of this, there's been a lot of things. I'm not going to go too in depth because this is not a political or opinion based outside of sports show. There have been a lot of things coming up about sexual assault and all that. So there's a lot more going for it. And I think people are starting to realize what things are. And now, Deshaun Watson is either a scumbag or just horribly, things are just not going right for him right now.
Either way, this is going to taint his resume, of course, and
right.
Who knows if teams are even going to try to trade for him now after that.
And, if it's one woman, or maybe even two, and you could be like, okay, they're just trying to get a piece of that dough or whatever. That's a logical claim you can have. But 13 women, and it keeps going, is when you kind of start to be like, this is pretty bad. It goes, okay, bad. We're at very bad. And the fact that it's getting worse is not a good sign.
Yeah. I mean, one alone is, very bad in my opinion. Enough to, definitely make you question their morality.
Correct. Well, it's about legitimacy. Because if it's one person, you're, that won't attract a ton.
We've gotten to the point where, okay, there's 13 allegations. What are the odds that all of them are false?
Right, and all of them should be taken seriously, even if it's just one. But, yeah, I mean, he'll get his wish to be out of Houston, but he might end up in the penitentiary instead. Yeah. Well, so he'll stay in Houston, but in all seriousness,
it does
not a good look, regardless of the outcome.
It does make me wonder if Houston is still going to cling on to him as desperately if they have.
Oh, their front office is so stupid, they
might still keep him.
Well, here's the other thing. If he gets convicted on 13 charges of sexual assault, that's prison time, I think. Depending on the severity of those, but that's a sentence, and you can't play football while in prison.
No.
You can afterwards. Mike Vick, I'm sure there's others. There's others.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's all we got for football.
Yep. So stay tuned, and hopefully Russ. I just want to see one major quarterback get traded. I mean,
I think. Well, I did have very high suspicion that Deshaun Watson was gone, but I feel like
he may be gone, but out of the league, perhaps.
Possibly, but anyways, catch you in the basketball one. Welcome to the NBA section, our final section of today. We will be doing the NCAA part, since it's during March Madness, on the after show, where we will be watching Michigan and watching me have a heart attack. Hopefully not.
Yeah,
but
it could be 2 heart attacks at once. What are the odds of that? I mean, either way, one of our brackets is going to hurt because I picked LSU and Ty, being a biased Michigan fan, picked Michigan. So.
Well, I mean, I had West Virginia winning it all, and they made an early exit. Let's just say that.
And I had Ohio State making, I think, the Final Four.
Oh no!
And Oral Roberts put an abrupt halt to that.
Well, yeah, I remember I was getting on the bus for my football game, and I was talking to my friend, and I was like, "Yo, Oral Roberts really about to pull this off."
But, and then they pulled it off.
And then they did
against Florida, who I think was not very good for a 7 seed, but still. I mean,
how good really is a 7 seed though?
True,
but
yeah, let's see if Oral Roberts can knock off. Who do they play next? Arkansas?
I think so.
No shot at that.
No
shot at that. Arkansas is too good.
Anyways.
Anyways.
So we start off with Lonzo Ball. The Hawks and Bulls are both interested, according to CBS Sports. Where do you think he'd go? I mean, out of both teams, and even teams that may be interested that aren't listed.
I think the best landing spot for Lonzo would be Atlanta. I mean, you got Trae Young there. Adding Lonzo Ball, hopefully they can develop a chemistry. And then you got a really talented young roster on your hand, and that could bring in other players like you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, they could. You bring him in. This is the thing that can happen. You put a pass-first point guard, because he is a pass-first point guard. I will not hear anything. He's not a shooter. He's a finisher at the rim, and he's a passer. You put him with Trae Young, who's a purebred shooter and playmaker. You have Lonzo Ball just keep feeding Trae Young. feeding three-point shooters like Kevin Herter. You keep doing that, the cycle will continue on, and you'll either A, get some really good chemistry and make a run at something, or B, increase the value of Lonzo Ball and ship him out. I mean, it's not like you'll make the right pick in the draft, but if you get picks, but also...
But either way, Lonzo's a good player. I like watching him. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up.
It really will be.
Yeah, and along with Lonzo Ball, since the NBA trade deadline's in a couple of days, we got talks of Aaron Gordon going somewhere. Where do you think Aaron ends up?
Well, this ties into one thing, and I guess I'll mention it now. LeBron James is out for several weeks. I'm sure you've seen it all over SportsCenter. They probably live streamed him eating breakfast. So... LeBron's out for several weeks. Just like how Anthony Davis went out, we kind of started to speculate. They might try and go get Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin went to the Nets. So we were wrong about that. But with Aaron Gordon coming out and saying, I want out of Orlando, do the Lakers make a run at Aaron Gordon? He'd fit pretty well, and then you could probably put him into the rotation or even the starting five when LeBron's back. Think about that one.
Yeah, especially with Davis, if he's still out by then. I don't know the update on Davis's injury, but, I mean, Aaron Gordon, I see some Anthony Davis in him.
Well, I'll give you an update on the Anthony Davis. My fantasy team is not doing too well, so he's out.
So we could be seeing Gordon come in. If he gets traded to the Lakers, I think he'd see a lot of minutes.
Right, and shout out to Austin Eschberger, who, big Aaron Gordon fan until he wanted to part ways with the team.
Yeah.
But so
diehard Magic fan, right?
I believe so. He loves pain. He just loves not winning things, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy how so many people love not winning.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. We'll watch your favorite team not winning.
That and a certain person who still hasn't been traded.
Yeah, so I think Ty, you're due for a rant here. Let the audience.
We're going now.
Yeah. Andre Drummond.
We couldn't just trade him. We couldn't just trade him. We couldn't trade him.
Did that Andre Drummond guy get traded?
No.
On the bright side,
there's no
Cavs have
no
16 wins. That's pretty darn good.
I'm so fed up with this team.
But you set a standard. What, 15 wins?
15 wins. It was sarcastic.
They're on pace for 32 though.
If it's a full season, which I'm pretty sure it is, but
on pace for 32. There's a bright side.
I can't with this team. Oh God, he hasn't played in so long. I went to check this man's stats. I couldn't find any since February 24th. I can't with the Cavaliers anymore. This team is so incompetent, so bad at everything. I can't even put words together. Oh, I forgot this. I can't even put words together to tell you how disappointed I am. This is how I see it. You're being very disrespectful to a very good player. You said, we're going to trade you, so you sit him. That was a month ago. You have not played him since. He was at one point like top 5 in the league. He's a great rebounder. Like top 5 centers, let me get that. Not players. God, no. But it's so disappointing. But you want me to tell you what his last stats have been? He's been beasting out. 0 minutes.
Against the Hawks, 0 points, man. It's
just...
just...
look at this. 0 anything. 0. He might as well change his number to 0 because he doesn't play. Because the Cavs are so bad at basketball.
It's just really promising
to see.
What?
Get this down.
It's really promising to see these franchises that make good use of their talented athletes, isn't it?
I can't.
Well, anyways, with that, have Ty in your thoughts.
I can't. I liked Andre Drummond, man. I liked him as a player, and then you know what happened? We were just like, you know what? You signed back with a team that didn't even win 15 games. Thank you for signing a deal with us. We want you gone. Trade Kevin Love too while you're at it, by the way. He's washed. I don't want him anymore. I'm so sorry, Kevin Love. But anyways, the teams interested in him apparently at the moment are the Mavericks and Raptors. So I honestly think that well, first off, this also makes me upset. The Cavaliers, according to Clutch Points, the Cavaliers have had trade talks with the Mavericks involving Andre Drummond. So if the Raptors, the Lakers and Nets are potential destinations if he gets bought out, which I will not be happy about. And they are seeking a second round pick. Or more if a long-term salary is included. Just give him a long-term salary, ship him out. End my suffering. And just...
If I'm Andre, I want to go to the Mavs.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why he should go to the Mavs. Pause that for a second. Just let me level with the league really quick. Kristaps Porzingis. I said he should get traded for Bradley Beal along with like a first round pick or maybe two. He hasn't gotten traded yet. I think that Kristaps Porzingis, he's not playing very good. He even had a Drummond game in there against the Thunder. He didn't play. Andre Drummond, I don't have anything recent to go off of because he hasn't played because of the ineptitude of the front office and coaching staff.
But point being, if he weren't good, you wouldn't be having this
exactly. 17.5 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 2.6 assists. Drummond's averaging that with, not including the last month of his career, and Porzingis is averaging 19.7 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 1.3 assists. Tell me that's not a good deal straight up.
It is. I mean...
Actually, the Cavs would kind of be getting less value. But Kristaps, when he's healthy, he's good at basketball. The only problem is that he's been regressing, and he suffered a bad injury last year.
Yeah, but just imagine a Dallas team with Drummond helping out Doncic.
Okay, maybe we should not trade him to Dallas, but...
See, I like Luka. I want to see him get some help. Not a Dallas fan, but I'm a Luka Doncic fan.
I'm a big fan of the Donchis. Put that on a T-shirt.
The Luka Doncic.
They
could just rebrand that franchise.
Rebrand. Our last piece of news, as the segment starts to just break down into utter madness. This one's really surprising to me. Marvin Bagley's been, trying to get traded by the Kings for this entire season. He was selected second overall in the 2018 draft, by the way, which same one that had Colin Sexton in it, who only bright spot, actually Garland too. Okay, Cavs aren't even that bad of a team. So the Pistons rejected a trade. Marvin Bagley for Saddiq Bey. Would you like to hear a stats comparison? By the way, they're also holding Bagley out.
Mind you, I believe Detroit is bottom of the East right now. Is that correct?
Yes, they are the worst team.
Let's hear some Saddiq versus Bagley.
So Bagley is currently averaging 13.9 points. I don't know why my voice just cracked like that. It sounded like I was going to cry about Drummond again. 7.4 rebounds and not even an assist. So that's role player type numbers. Well, actually, 14 points out of your role players isn't too bad. Saddiq Bey is currently averaging 10.5 points, 4.1 rebounds, and an assist. Any person with a brain can tell that one's better than the other.
Yeah, and with that being said, Detroit, you're probably staying last in the East.
I don't get where the disconnect is. He's a rookie this year, and nothing against Sadiq Bey for being a rookie and averaging 10 points or pretty much 11 points, and 4 rebounds and an assist. That's not bad. You're getting minutes, 36, 32, 39. That's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just don't get I feel like that's really bad for Marvin Bagley, because if you can't get traded for a rookie who's, I'd say, below average or average, I just don't see what kind of return they could get for him if they're trying to get rid of him so badly, which seems like they are. This is descended into madness.
Yeah, NBA's in a wild place right now.
It really is. I think that teams are just really unprofessional right now, as I sit like this.
With a backwards biscuit jersey.
Yeah, that was the choice. But, I mean, what you gonna do when Pooh Shiesty comes for you?
What you gonna poo?
Who do you think you are? I am.
Pooh-ar.
Get that. Thank you very much for watching. We appreciate your viewership. Consider liking and subscribing and sharing it with your friends and moms. But yeah, definitely consider sharing this. It's no secret that we haven't gotten out there as much as we would have hoped.
But
we did buy a microphone.
But there's benefits to you guys watching. The more subscribers we get, the more guests we can start having, hopefully.
Which, by the way, we have some lined up, but we don't have enough people at the moment.
You're holding us back right now. Share it, give it a like, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Yeah, we wanna have some guests on for you guys. We think you'd enjoy their company.
Don't make me resort to a giveaway, because I will do that. I have so many football, baseball, basketball cards. I will do a giveaway.
Don't make him do it.
100 subscribers. Prize to be determined. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Stay safe and stay epic.